Please help me welcome Brandon to the stage with Nomie.
It all started out pretty amazing, except for looking like the Joker. I was a pretty amazing looking baby. But then as I got older, where are we going? Yep, there we go. As I got older, one thing became perfectly clear. I was the bad kid. Now, without getting into too many details, one example was when I created a 40-foot fireball that lit up the night sky of Carmel, Indiana at an extremely young age. It's things like that. Now, my father, knowing the trouble that was ahead, decided to use his journalistic platform to warn the fair people of Carmel of my impending attack as I entered the education system. And this is literally Unified Neighbors, which ultimately turned into Angie's List, and this is an article that he wrote of warning people about me. And he was right. I was in trouble every single day. I couldn't understand, remember, or care for all the rules that they had, and truthfully, I couldn't believe that all of these adults thought this was the best way of interacting with kids. It was shortly after that that I was introduced to the mental health system, and where I spent most of my adult life, or young life, being labeled various things and on the medicine and therapist merry-go-round. And now, while no medicines ever made me normal, the therapy actually had a lot of benefits, and specifically one idea that spanned 20 years that made sense to me as a 7-year-old, it made sense to me as a 15-year-old, and as a 25-year-old. And that was the idea of a feelings journal. They would all tell me, Brandon, you've got to write down your feelings. You got to write down, you have a good day, write it down on what you do that day. You have a bad day, write it down on what you do that day. And over time, you can start figuring out your patterns. You can start figuring out the things that are going on in your life. I'm like, it makes all the sense to me in the fucking world. I get it, I love it. As a 7-year-old, I said that, right? As a 15-year-old, I said it, and as a 25-year-old, I said it. But truthfully, I'm not going to do it. Right? Because I'm not going to sit there and write down my feelings. It's just not going to happen. But that really was unsettling for a long time. As I sat there and I knew all of these answers could be just in the palm of my hand if I just wasn't lazy. And then about a decade later, I was sitting across from my daughter as she gets a text message. And I watch her take out her phone, read the message, reply to the message, and put it back in literally 5 seconds. And I said, holy shit, if I could track my behavior and actions as fast as she just did that, I would do it all the time. And so that's when I had the idea for a one-click tracker. I wanted an application that let me track whatever I wanted to track, and that I could take the phone out of my pocket, click the button, put it back, and not have to worry about it again. And so for the last year and a few months, I've been building that, and I've been iterating on it and building a user base, and I've tracked 22,000 times, spanning 125 different things that I track in my life. For me, though, the top things have been, I've gained an incredible insight into my depression, and to the frequency of my depression and the cycles that it happens, so I can work with it and I can deal with it. It's helped me regulate my wine consumption, which was significantly higher than I ever thought before I was tracking. Right, I'm like, I'm a social drinker. Then you start tracking, you're like, holy shit. Overall awareness has been something that I didn't have necessarily before I was tracking. The users track everything from sex to drugs to prayer and everything literally in between. And that's what's so cool about it, is because it's so personal. It has nothing to do with Nomie. It has to do with the people that are fucking using it. And that's what I love about it. It's also the world's easiest demo. I can sit here, and I'm going to come off mic, and I can go, hey, I'm feeling happy. Click, and I'm done. And now, of course, it's not going to go back. Go, go. Where is it? Go. There we go. Now we're back. And that's all it is. And then you put your phone away and you don't worry about it, because Nomie's not about taking all of your time. It's not about showing you a new video to suck up all of your time. It's about only being there when it's time for you to go, something's not right. And I need to go and look at my numbers. And when you do, you're going to have, come on, baby. There we go. A much deeper picture of your data. Much more than a book would ever show you as you flip through it. And especially when you can compare the things that you're tracking together and you can start finding correlations that you never even considered. This is my sleep and my water intake, and there's a direct correlation. It's available on iOS and Android. It's free for up to 12 trackers. It's offline. There's no accounts. I don't own your data. I don't know your data. I don't want to touch your damn data. I did that in the original version. I don't want it. You can create your custom trackers, or you can pick from a growing library. And now you know me. And if you use VergeHQ as a Nomie code when you're checking out, you'll get 20 additional tracker slots. Thank you.
Want more secrets from inside the minds of entrepreneurs and innovators around the world? Subscribe to our YouTube channel here and click the link below. We'll send you our best interviews, and strategies for growing your business.